Everyone, today I am here to show you my planner and journal lineup that I have so far for 2024. I'll probably use a whole lot more than this, but right now these are the basic notebooks that I have in my system and that are consistently in my system. So if you've been around the channel at all, you know that I keep these junk journals as sort of like a scrapbook memory journal system. This is my newest one. I haven't started in on it yet. But I did share just a quick little flip of it over on Instagram if you want to see the inside. But I made this myself. I always make all of my journals myself. You can look back at past videos if you want to see how I fill them up. But this is the bulk of my memory keeping practice. So there's that. This is just a Moleskine expanded journal with a dot grid paper on the inside. And this is where I keep, like, I don't know, I call it my ugly journal. It's just writing. It usually I do like a lot of morning writing or sort of verbal vomit type thing if I'm feeling high emotions or whatever, or if I need to process something, or sometimes even if I'm just bored. This is where I go and I just write all that out. So again, just a plain notebook. This is just another notebook that I got at Barnes & Noble. It's got like a mix of different papers in it. But I just do some like creative writing practice in here just for fun. So that is what this is. And then this is my planner. Last year I used a week's size planner, so real small and tall, narrow and tall and quite small. This year I am using the Hobonichi, is it HON or HON? I'm not sure. It's the inside guts of the cousin with the thicker cover. And I have it housed in this. This is a cover from Ara Estelle. So this is the HON. It's got the plastic cover on it. I did have to cut the top of it here. You can't tell, but like I cut in like this on the back so that it would fit in the cover. Otherwise, it really doesn't fit. And it had a big struggle fitting in a Moterm snap cover also. It does fit with the clear cover in a Moterm zip cover just fine. So if you were curious, I've been curious. That's been my experience so far. So this is the HON. It has like a weeks type cover to it. This is the Liberty fabric version. And then the inside is just like the cousin. So I have the first two pages completely decked out in stickers. You can see I really like Bluey, and we're big fans of Muffin in our house. I say that Muffin is our youngest. Like they are like personality wise exactly the same, I swear. Then I have, this is a print from Brandy Kincaid, and it had, I think it said pause here, but I put my word of the year over it instead. And then I tipped in some paper from this notebook that I cut down to fit, to have a little bit of extra space to do like some vision casting, maybe you'd call it. I don't know. It's like goal setting, but a lot less specific. So I have 2 areas of focus that I want to focus on this year. And then I broke it down into 4 quarters to like work out the details. And then I have just like a wish list, to-do list, kind of like a bucket list here on this page. And then I wrote a little something about my word of the year over here just to keep myself refreshed. And this is like this is a vinyl sheet from Hobby Lobby that I stuck down on here. It's like a big sticker sheet. And then I taped in this piece of paper for a place to write. So this can easily be taken off of this without tearing it if I need to update or change that at any point. Then I'm using this section as a monthly habit tracker. So I have different things, and I'm gonna do it month by month because I probably won't track the same things all year. But I have what I'm tracking written up here, and then I track it here, and then down here I'm keeping like highlights or details, so things we've watched, number of times I took outside walks, any books I finished, any events that I've gone to, the number of times we go kayaking this summer, stuff like that I'll track down here. So there's 2 pages of that. Obviously, if you're familiar with the Hobonichi, you know that. The monthly pages I use just to keep track of things that are coming, like appointments. Anything that has a time or a specific date tied to it, I put it down here when I know it. So that's all of that. And then The weeklies I have started using, so I divided it up here and I'm doing schedule at the top and then to-do list at the bottom. I am a stay-at-home mom, so we don't have a ton of scheduling needs. I don't have meetings and stuff that I need to keep track of, but I do have a lot to do. So I need the to-do list space and I don't need to time track. So I could use this for time tracking and put big long to-do lists in the back, but it doesn't make a lot of sense for me that way. My brain just can't handle doing that because time tracking is silly. So what I've come up with so far is to-do list here, schedule at the top, and then like goals or weekly to-do lists that aren't tied to a day over here on the side. This is some meals. I do not do well if we assign meals to a specific day. Again, my brain does not enjoy that. It just doesn't work that way. So I just keep a list and then we pick from the list each day and I check it off as we go. So that's how I'm using the weeklies. Then back in the daily section, here I have like a little vision board thing that I put together. I've never done a vision board before, so this was a new sort of experiment for me, so I will keep you updated on how I feel about that. So far, it's kind of, maybe cool. Not entirely sure that it's doing for me what I had hoped it would do, but we'll see. Not giving up on that yet. So then there's always a blank page before the start of each month that I plan to use for tracking spending. So that's what's under here. And then I'm just journaling a little bit on these back pages. My husband bought me an old version of Allie Edwards's One Little Word class. So I have the 2023 class, even though it's 2024. So I did some of the journaling prompts, but I did them in here. I was thinking about maybe making a whole nother journal like this for that class, but I couldn't really wrap my head around that, exactly what that might look like. And it just didn't feel right. So I'm doing it just written and doodled a little bit, I guess, but in here. So I have my goals for the month of January on this page. I did a wrap up of 2023 over here on this page. And then this is where my one little word journaling starts. So this is about my word of the year. This is the page of like quotes that support that. And then they have you do like things that you're inviting in and letting go, or a less and more list. So that's what I did on this page. Then here is where I've just started regular journaling, if you want to call it that. So this one's a gratitude list and like a to-do list for making my journal. I was working on it that day, so I wrote out all the different steps that I wanted to do. This, I did a weekly recap with just some highlights from the week. And then here, this is all just like journaling straight up. So that's how I'm using the daily pages for now. Then in the very back, there are a few blank like graph paper pages. So I made this health tracker in the back. So I started with January and went all the way through the end of the year and made all these little squares and then numbered them. So I will track things like my cycle, anything that I have symptoms for. So I sometimes get headaches and I'm interested to see if that is related to where I'm at in my cycle. So I'm tracking headaches. If anything happens that is out of the ordinary, if I'm sick, whatever, I'm going to put it in here. Then I haven't figured out if I will use a lot of these pages in the back. Probably not, but a few I am. So the 100 list, I started writing down, I called it 100 lovely little experiences. So just small things that you do, like kind of like a bucket list, but smaller for the year. Just small experiences that I want to have as part of my life this year. I only have 27 written down right now, but I'm working on that. Then there's also the 365 checkoff page. And last year I started listening to Father Mike Schmitz's Catechism in a Year podcast, and I fell off the bandwagon pretty hardcore. So I made it a little less than halfway through. So I'm using this to track catechism in 2 years. And so hopefully by the end of this year, I will finish that. And then some of these other ones I may cover up and use later for like Christmas planning, especially for those kinds of lists and things that need somewhere to live kind of over a longer period of time. But for now, I haven't done anything with it. So that is my planner / daily journal, I guess, for the back section. So this is my 2024 lineup. Obviously, this will change as I fill these up and make new ones. But for the most part, these are fairly consistent throughout the year. So yeah, if you have any questions or want me to share details about anything else, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Bye.